we break the chains. It's more than talk, it's kingdom reign. Fire in our bones, His glory proclaimed. Righteously, unfiltered and unashamed. No fear in our flow, just think.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Righteously Unfiltered and Unshaken, where we keep it real, raw, and always rooted in truth. I'm your host, Justice, and tonight we're getting into the topic that hits home for me personally. Is child support fair or not? So first, I'm going to bring Nay to the stage. Hi, Nay.
Hello.
Then I'm going to bring Mimi. Hi, Mimi.
Hey, ladies.
Next is our good sister Rose. Hi, Rose.
Hi.
And lastly, we have our awesome sister Faith. Hi, Faith.
Hello. Before we begin, let me breathe the word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we welcome you into this moment with open hearts and expectant spirit. Let your Holy Spirit flow through every word spoken and touch every heart listening. Use this podcast as a vessel to uplift the weary, challenge the complacent, heal the broken, and inspire the seeking. Let your truth rise above every distraction, and may your name be glorified in all that is shared. Wrap this space in your presence, silence every voice that's not yours, and prepare each listener to receive exactly what they need today. Speak, Lord. Your daughters and sons are listening. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
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 Amen. So let me be honest with y'all. As a single mom of 3 beautiful babies, this topic doesn't come from something I read online or something I saw in a documentary. It comes from my life, whether it's my life, the ladies on a panel life and stuff like that. My reality, the day-to-day grind. We all out here working, hustling on jobs, running a business, trying to build a future, but not just for me, also building a future for my children as well. And yet their fathers are on child support, but don't pay a dime. Not a dime. No diapers, no clothes, no help with rent. And sure as heck, no emotional support. So let's get into today's topic. Is child support fair or not? What are your guys?
All right. Well, I guess I'll start. It is. I don't like the question. Is child support fair or not? What's fair for the child? 2 people came together to create another being.
Mm-hmm.
It is not the responsibility of just one person. So a lot of times, and don't get me wrong, there's deadbeat moms too. A lot of times, a lot of the responsibility falls on, I'll just say, one person more than the other. And I feel like if you can't split the time of the child between the 2 equally, if you can't contribute to going to sporting events or contribute to any sports or extracurricular activities they want to partake in, you can't be there for games, you can't be there for practices, the least you could do is provide some financial support. And I don't feel this is something that should be abused, because I have another feeling about how it is unfair on the father's side or the dad's side or the mom's side, whoever is the one that has to pay the child support. There are some unfair practices that take place in the court system regarding that. But outside of that, if you can't put in the time, the least you could do is put in the money.
Well, I'll say this: child support is for the child. You are, if you're the mother or the father, whichever one is not the custodial parent, you should support a child that you help create, whether it be finances, time, energy. The child needs to be supported. That child did not ask to come here. It's not about the mother or the father. It's about that child getting exactly what that child needs.
My opinion on is child support fair? I'm just gonna piggyback a little bit. So I personally believe that if you are an active father and you're an active mother, like 2 parents together for one child, there should not be child support, because you're there for your child financially, physically, emotionally, like you're a hands-on parent. However, I do believe that if you are an absent parent, no matter which gender. Because, yes, if there's a man that's an active father and a single dad, yes, the mom should be put on child support. Because if you're not going to be there physically for your child, just like Auntie Mimi said, then be there financially in some way. And same for the roles reverse. If a single mom is there for the child financially, she's the custodial parent, then yes, the father should be on child support. However, I do believe that no matter the gender who is on child support, once you stand on your own 2 feet and you show that you're ready to be an active parent, and I don't mean just financially, because again, money is not everything. However, if you're there, you know, physically, emotionally, you're coming out to games, you're supporting everything the child does for school, you want to know updates about the doctor, or at least take your child to the doctor if you know your child's doctor, then yes, I do believe that, maybe we can discuss child support being removed, especially if you're, becoming a parent, like you want to physically be there and do things for yourself, for your child.
Okay, so when I got this topic regarding child support, I ain't gonna lie, I was extremely excited because again, like this podcast is not to bash anyone. I'm just a firm believer where if the shoe fit, wear it. So the mere fact that you guys said, we have parents out here that are not taking care of the child. I believe if you're not doing everything you're supposed to be doing regarding your child, then yes, I believe that child support is fair because that child support is to help the other parent support the child, whether if it's financially or if the child want to go to the store and get some candy and stuff like that. So that's why I feel like child support is fair because like at the end of the day, the other parent is not doing anything regarding the kids. So if you're not doing anything, then yes, by all means, you're going to go on child support.
Okay, so we gotta attack this from all angles. Now, is child support fair? It depends on how you define fair, and it also depends on why was there a child support case in the first place. Now, I feel as though that I'm a firm believer. So, me being transparent, I did not put them on child support. I remember when I had my son out of high school. So to finish high school, I got on welfare, and welfare put the father on child support. However, once I came off, I told them that I did not want the rears. I did not want anything. So I did not have neither one of them on child support. That's just me. I feel as though I'm not going to make you take care of your child. They're my children. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to take care of them. Thinking back now, that was very ignorant of me because the both of us made them, the both of us should have took care of them financially. Now, with that being said, you have people who put the absent party on child support just because they're angry, they're upset, the relationship didn't work out, the person is in a new relationship and that new relationship is better. So now you're doing it for all the wrong reasons. So I feel as though if you gave that person a chance to take care of the child financially and they did not, and you truly need the help, so now you have to go and get child support, that's fair. However, if you did not give that person a chance and as soon as y'all broke up and you saw them with someone else and you ran out to try to get child support, that's unfair to me.
Just want to share like a past experience. I was married previously, and when we got divorced, I always say that when I divorced him, he divorced them. And what I mean by that is my only request with him was to spend time with his children. He didn't have to do the child. We didn't have to do child support. I just wanted him to spend time with his children. That wasn't important to him. Then every now and again, I would ask them for help because they were young then. They were still in Pampers. So I would ask them for help to get like Pampers, even though I was already taught to have when you don't have. So you buy it and have it so you don't have to worry about it running out. And I remember the one day I asked him for some money for Pampers. Thank God I already had. And he showed me $100 bill. So here I'm thinking in my mind, okay, so maybe he's going to give me half of that. That's fine. He goes and gets change for the $100 bill and gives me $10. So when I did put him on child support, I went back through my divorce and he was ordered to pay $150 per child. Now, did I ever see the money? No. But what I decided to do instead of crying over spilled milk, I decided to go get me a job and take care of my own children. And God helped me take care of them. And I haven't worried. Now he is in the arrears. He does owe. So now he does not get jobs on the book because if he does, all of that money comes to me. But at this point, it's no longer a child support case. It's just the arrears that he owes. So I just feel like at the end of the day, if you can help make a child, you should be responsible for the child, regardless if it's monetary, spending time, or whatever. Because again, like I said, these children never asked to be here. They are here. And you can run around telling people, oh yeah, that's my son, that's my daughter. But you don't even know when they birthday is.
Well, since we're being transparent, since we're being transparent, um, I too in a previous relationship we parted ways. Um, and I had to go for assistance. So of course, your name's on the birth certificate, you're going on child support. So, I had it for a couple months, got off, didn't need it anymore. I even waived the arrears. Okay. So then there came a time where the parent just wasn't kicking in. So in order for me to work, I need to make sure that the children are being watched because that's the only way I can work so that I don't have to leave you on child support. Right. So I'm trying to help me help you. I'm trying to get it together and this is what I need. But I couldn't get that. I couldn't compromise. I said, if I can't get this from you, then I'm gonna put you back on. Well, I did it again. And then some other things transpire a couple years later, off again. Then it was the final straw. It was the final straw. I need you to help. You already don't do much of anything. You don't do anything. I need your help. I need you to pick them up. I need you to keep them for a few hours. I need, little things like that. Not even every day. I just could not get the support that I needed from their parent, from their, father. And I told them, I said, this is the last time. If I ever, ever, ever put you on again, I am never taking you off because I'm tired of the merry-go-round. I'm not doing this with you again. You've already shown and proved you're inconsistent and you lie because you didn't keep up your end of the bargain, which shouldn't even been a bargain because these are your children. So again, I feel like if you can't help out, you can't pick them up, you can't drop them off. I've had to quit a job because it was too far away because he constantly threatened not to pick them up after school. And I was in, for those that know the air, like I was just in a whole nother county and couldn't get to them in time. So I quit my job. So long story longer, I put them on and I never took them back off because you're not going to keep playing with me. You're not going to keep playing with me. And as long as my children are in school, you'll continue to pay because I feel like this is for my suffering at this point. You just stay on and continue to help until they no longer need your help.
I know
You
they.
got children in college, like you have to kick in. You have to help. There's no at a certain age, whatever, whatever. They're still your children.
Amen.
So kick in. And I'm not letting up because I did it too many times. I gave multiple chances to get it right,
Mm-hmm.
and they just didn't want to get it right. So this is where we are, and this is where we'll stay. Because I'm not going in nobody's court. I'm not writing no more letters. I'm not going to remove anything anymore. I did it too many times. I'm done. But I will say, what I don't agree with is how when you go down there to sign up for child support, to put them on child support, they are automatically, immediately in arrears. I don't think that is because they're in arrears before they even notified that they have a child support case. That I don't agree with. But I'm not taking them off.
So, quick question about the rears, right? It goes according to the time you sign up for child support.
So if I go down there today and sign up to put you on, your arrear starts today.
Mm-hmm.
And why you don't agree with the arrears?
I don't think it's fair for them to be in arrears already before they even know that they have a child support case. So you put me on child support today. You file today. The arrears begin today. I'm not notified until next week or a week after that when I have to go to court and go before the judge. And already I got 2 weeks or maybe even a month in arrears already, depending on pay schedules and stuff like that. I don't think that that's fair that they owe this money prior to finding out. Although you have a kid already, so I guess it's kind of a given. But as far as the system goes, I didn't like that, or I don't agree with that. Can we talk about bitter baby mothers who do stuff like this?
Auntie, that was gonna be my next
Yeah, let's talk
question.
about that.
Oh,
Let's talk about that thing. Mm-hmm.
okay.
That was gonna be my next question, right? Because let me
Ma'am.
tell you. So y'all know I have 3 baby dads, right? And however, this last one seems to irk my scruples because being that he's on child support, he really feels as though I put him on child support to be a bitter baby mother. When on my end, it's more so of you're not helping me take care of tuition for school. You're not helping me with providing diapers. You're not helping me with providing food, clothes on her back, shoes on her feet, a roof over her head. You don't even provide me on the days where you don't help provide me on the days where she has to go to the doctor and everything like that. But yet, because I put you on child support and I don't get no help from you whatsoever, I always get called being a bitter baby mother or a spiteful mother when I feel as though I didn't make this child by myself. So again, I shouldn't be doing it by myself. Although I did with the first one, versus besides my support, my backbone, my support system and everything like that. But it's just like I shouldn't have to go for them for everything, whether if my kid needs milk, whether if my kid needs food, diapers, anything. I'm always constantly going to them, whereas I feel as though I should come to you, but because I can't come to you and put you on child support, I am getting called a bitter baby mother. So my question is, why when you put the father on child support, they always be quick to associate you as a bitter baby mother or a spiteful, evil person for putting them up there?
Because they are.
Most deadbeats feel as though you're a better baby mother. Anytime you hear bitter baby mother, I could almost guarantee, or bitter baby daddy, because we have single fathers as well. 9 out of 10 times, the other parent is a deadbeat. Those are the words of a deadbeat.
Bingo.
Because if you were doing what you were supposed to do, I wouldn't have to go to child support. Then you really got the bitter baby mothers. See, that's not the bitter baby mother that Mimi was talking about. Mimi's talking about the bitter baby mamas who the fathers do everything they can. Great father.
Mm-hmm.
Spend time, they give money, anything you ask for, you got it. But soon as that bitter baby mother see them in the new relationship,
Mm-hmm.
now you got a problem. Now you want to run down there and put child support on them. I always tell people we could date the same person and not date the same person at the same time. Who he is with me is not who he is going to be with you, because I am me. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Well,
Speak on it.
that's what I was talking about. Those.
Mhm.
If I can't have you, if you're gonna be with somebody else, you swear you breaking up
Mhm.
a home, or you swear you putting a strain in a relationship.
Mhm.
Child,
Yep.
those bitter baby mothers.
Yep. Little baby mothers where the father done been in the delivery room with you, help to cut the umbilical cord, want to spend time with the child, but you keep the child away from him.
Well,
You get a restraining order on him because he's not in a relationship with you anymore. Now that's a bitter baby mother, not some mother asking you to be responsible for what you helped create. That is
mm,
not a bitter baby mother.
and them bitter men are the ones like sis said. Bitter men are the ones
Mhm.
that call their child's mother bitter because you're angry that I'm making you be financially responsible because you can't do it on your own. So I have to get the courts involved for you to do what you're supposed to do.
Right.
I had a coworker way back when, and he was complaining about his child's mother, about this, that, and the other. And I said, you know how you resolve that? You know that your child needs milk, pampers, underclothes, toothpaste, powder, lotion. You know that your child needs food if they're eating table food. Just buy it. They're always going to need it. You don't have to wait for a phone call for the stuff that you know that they're going to use on a daily basis. Just provide it. What's the big deal?
I can tell you what the big deal is. The big deal is apparently us women in this century are more providers when it comes to our kid versus, I'm not going to say all because all men is not like that. I'm going to say, okay, all boys. There you
Okay.
go.
Okay.
I can agree with you there.
That's the testosterone level again. The decrease is real.
Hmm.
I mean, I understand sometimes we have to step up where others fall short, but whew, a lot of times we know what we're getting ourselves into, but we just hoping for a different outcome.
Mhm.
That was me, Auntie. That was indeed me because I was sold a fairy tale dream, okay?
Mhm.
Anybody that knows me knew growing up, I did not want any kids. I did not want any kids. I was already labeled as the rich auntie, and that's all I wanted to be. But then Lucifer came in, and I'm the type of person, right? When it comes to love, I love love. I
Mhm.
love love. I love love so bad that I fell in love with a pure demon and did not realize it
Jesus.
because I I love love to the point I could see the good in the devil himself. Knowing he's the devil, I could still see the good in him and still try to make it work. That's just the type of person that I am. I'd be blindsided, but it's okay because I love my boys. However, this man showed me in the first pregnancy the type of father he would have been. And looking back at everything, my mother always told me that a man will show you the kind of father he will be while you're pregnant. Not when a baby comes, but while you're pregnant. I remember an incident happened in my first pregnancy that led me to bleed, and I had to go to the hospital. And, I called him like, hey, I have to go to the hospital. Are you going to come with me? He's out with his friends. He said, update me, let me know what the docs say.
Wow.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, no problem. When my son passed away, he did not come up to the hospital. He did not come and visit. His mom was there. My mom never left my side. My poo never left my side. My dad stayed on the phone. Spiritual sisters was there every second of the way.
Mhm.
He did not come. The day I left the hospital was the hardest days because Imagine going into the hospital pregnant and leaving with absolutely nothing.
Jesus. Jesus.
And the first thing that my
Mm.
poo wanted to hide from me was seeing a baby stroller. So we're creeping around my hospital room, and I'm just waiting. And she's like, "Okay, coast clear. Coast is clear." I don't know what she's talking about, but okay, coast is clear. I guess we gotta sneak out the hospital. And as soon as the elevator doors opened, the first thing I seen was a baby stroller, and the baby was in there. And the baby was just like broke me down to tears. As soon as I left the hospital, first person I called was my child's father. I said, "Hey, I would really love to see you. I'm not having a good day. They finally let me out the hospital." And you know what he says? "I'm busy right now, outside with the homies." Okay, cool. Now, why did I go back and plan another child with him after he showed me the signs? I don't know,
We know why.
but I'm grateful. I know why. I know why. Because I lost my son, and I felt like my child father was the only connection that I had to my son.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't let him go. As bad as I wanted to,
Mm.
and as bad as I did not want to stay with him, he was all I knew when it came to Braylon. So I just clung on to him. No matter how
Mm.
bad he treated me, I clung on to him. And then in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, if I have another baby by him, I'll just have one baby daddy, right?
I
Rather have
can't.
one than two, right? So, when we planned to have another one, was our relationship the best? Absolutely not. But I got a plan that I didn't know was a plan, and I got my baby. And
Mm-hmm.
when I got my baby at 4 months, I moved 2 hours away.
Thank you for your service.
Thank
So
you, thank
basically, you
you.
got your baby and
Girl said
bounced.
I'm a,
Yes,
that's exactly what she's
absolutely.
saying.
That's right.
Absolutely. I got my
You planted
baby
that seed, let it grow and bounce.
and I moved 2 hours away. And listen, and I know some people might listen to this and be like, "Oh my gosh, she keeping a baby away from da, 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 da." No, absolutely not, right? I promise. I do not keep Zayden away from somebody who don't care for Zayden, okay? I don't.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes down to co-parenting, it was non-existent from day one, but I was okay with it because I knew what I was getting myself into, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
When he took my car and I realized I left my baby milk by my Grammy house, and he told me to just order some and he gonna pay me back instead of just bringing me my car back to run to my Grammy house right quick, I was like, okay. He never made a bottle, never fed Zayden. Like, he would just look at him from a distance. But again, I was okay with that. I'm content because I already knew what I was getting myself into. Now, do I feel bad for my son? Absolutely. Because my son loves his daddy. He loves his daddy so much. He cherished him, which I love for my son. But it's going to break him when he get older. Now, when it comes down to the child support, yes, I put my baby dad on child support. Was it out of spite? Absolutely not. My dream was to go to beauty school. And it just so happened that I went to beauty school when my son was around 5, 6 months. So I had to go, get assistance, get some help so that mommy could go to school, graduate, and still, be a mom. So I had to, put him on child support. Now, they did ask me if I wanted to take him off. Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he's not there physically, financially, I can't even come to him for help because he's going to be out with his friends. His friends are more important than his child. So, no, I don't feel bad for the arrears. I'm sorry, Auntie Mimi, but I get you. But I don't feel bad. Not me.
Oh, that's fine. I don't either. I'm gonna keep them there.
Hello.
I'm not waiving anything. I
No,
just
no.
think that they could at least let them know,
Ahead of
hey,
time.
we about to take
Yes.
all your funds,
Yes.
so be ready. But yeah,
Yes.
I mean, on the
So,
flip side of that, I guess if you just did what you were supposed to do, you wouldn't have to worry about any of that.
and
But
that's what I'm saying. And you know what's crazy, Auntie Mimi? I guarantee you, if he was more active in Zayden's life, I would literally have no problem taking him off. But you have to be consistent for at least a year.
mm-hmm,
And I'm not gonna tell you that up front.
mm-hmm,
But yes, if I see that you're growing and you're being consistent, you're there for him, you're picking him up, you're spending time with him. Not you got your mother and your father calling me, asking me to bring if they could come down and get him. He's staying with his grandparents, and you know what I mean? Like you only
mm-hmm.
see him for 5 minutes
Yeah.
type junk. Okay.
Listen, sometimes, like I said, I always say, sometimes, sometimes your absenteeism is a benefit because I don't know if I want you imparting or influencing my child because you're ignorant.
Right.
So it's more of a blessing than a
Mhm.
curse. That's my way of protecting you. So if you're not even mentally stable or emotionally um sound enough to be around my child, the least you could do is take care of them financially.
Yep.
Like, I know the judge will tell you they are not to pay your bills. That's not what child support is. Child support is not for your light bill, not for your cell phone, not for the roof over your head, not for any of that. It's to literally take care of the child. So, clothing, shoes, outings, school trips, sports, all that equipment and all the attire and cleats and stuff that's necessary, all that stuff, and McDonald's on Fridays. I take care of the big stuff and you crying over the little stuff. I take the trips to the urgent care, the emergency room. I take them to and from practice, pick them up from school if they're sick or not feeling well, dentist appointments, eye exams. I stay on top of the school physicals. I fill out the applications for school lunches and all that stuff. I do all of this. And all you do is give $1.
Well, Auntie Mimi. Well, in my case, right? I literally do everything. I do not receive child support. I do not receive a payment. I only received one payment because he got clink clink and he wanted to come home to his friends. So that was only one time payment and the four consecutive because he was on child support before my baby was one. So it was 4 consecutive years. I have not received none but one payment. So I'm a bitter baby mom, but I don't call you. I don't argue with you. I don't reach out to you. I don't send pictures. I don't do you I change my number because I do everything. So why would I waste my time knowing that you're not gonna do anything? And to be quite and frank, I don't want no boy raising my son to be a man because it don't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
My child
Say that
is
thing, girl.
good. He has my dad, who
Mm-hmm.
is a good
Mhm.
man.
Yes, ma'am.
He has my boyfriend, who is the awesome man. Okay,
Yeah.
he have great father figures in his life. He has a great role model, hard working men who gets up and work, not go
Mm-hmm.
outside and play with his friends. I don't want that for my son. So it's okay. Like, I am very content with where me and my baby are.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that makes two of us, Nisi Poo. For a few months now, I haven't received a thing. So, yeah, me and my husband been doing it. That sweet 16, me and my husband had to do it.
Say that thing, girl. Uh-huh.
Daddy was invited, but he ain't take care of nothing. So I feel that, and it's been a while because their dad has always worked. So that their paycheck, that garnishment came faithfully. But in the past few months, mm-mm, mm-mm. And I get what you said too, real quick, about if they put in the time, you would consider taking them off. Child, their father lived around the corner from them. They never saw him.
I know
No
that
way.
feeling.
I
Literally,
know that feeling all too well too.
wow, less than 5 minutes away, and never came through.
Hmm.
No, I'm not gonna say never. Hardly came through. Not half as much as you should have. I don't see the problem with seeing your child every day.
Hmm.
Even though you don't live with them, you should still be able to see your child every day. Pick them up and take them to school. Pick them up from school.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my husband, on the other hand, you couldn't keep him away from his kids. You couldn't keep him away from his son until he had to be away from his sons. Picking
That's
up
the
and moving
difference
out of state
between
is
a man and
diabolical.
a boy. Baby, I'm sorry. That's the difference between a man and a boy. I'm sorry to cut you off.
But Mimi, here's the thing. In the state of New Jersey, the woman cannot leave the state without the father's permission. However, men are, I don't want to go to court. Why? That's your child, and you have every right not to make it. Especially if you're used to seeing your child every day. So you're going from literally seeing your child every day to not seeing your child at all,
Yep.
possibly on holidays.
Yep.
Make her move back. Call it bitter, call it whatever you will. This is a man who the child used to seeing their dad every day, and that's what a lot of women don't understand. A child used to see their father every day, and you just decide to get up
Uproot
and
them.
relocate. Him not making you come back should make you want to try to work things out with him. We're talking about the bitter baby mamas, people. That in itself should make you want to work it out because he can make you move back. But again, of course, once they're there a year, then is that now
Mhm.
becomes their home state.
Yep. And I shared that information, but like you said, they don't want to go to court. They don't want to do none of that. And I'm like, you got to fight for what you want. But to uproot and bounce when that man saw his sons every day and then put them on child support. And I keep saying it's crazy because I would, I if the father was um let me see, how can I say this, mature enough, man enough, like not to dog me out or make them feel less than, and that was actually interested in what they liked and entertained what they wanted to do and supported them and saw them every day, I wouldn't have cared about any finances. We could have figured it out. But you didn't give time. See, I can't make you spend your time with the children, but I can make you pay for them. And that's what happened. We'll never know if I would have ever done this had it been the other way, because I never had an opportunity to find out.
So I've been called the bitter baby mother by the girl's father. So my youngest daughter always wanted a relationship with her biological father. And it was like he decided to relocate it. So he relocated to a different state. So he was out of sight, out of mind until she got older. Then she'll start asking questions. I feel as though you leave, you don't be there for your children. I'm not going to be the one to explain that to them. You are. So my whole thing was he's going through something. That's all I kept ever telling her ever since she was growing up. He's going through something. You got to give him time. He's going through. When he stopped going through, he'll be able to explain everything to you. So when she got of age, nope, let me back up. He used to contact her and everything, and she used to cry and her emotions all jacked up. Now, me being a mother, I had to protect my child. I had to protect her emotional stability. So I told him, don't reach out to her ever again. When she's ready to reach out to you, she'll reach out to you. Don't reach out to her no more. Because I'm tired of wiping her tears. I'm tired of every time me and my husband get her right, you come in and you want to just rip everything apart and make her feel guilty or whatever the case may be. Now, when she got older, she reached out to him and she was talking to him. And she was asking questions about her, like, what's my favorite color? The favorite color that he gave was my favorite color. So now she's stepping back like, yo, you really don't know nothing about me. So she goes to my husband. She was like, Dad, what's my favorite color? So he told her favorite color. So now she's sitting there and I said, I'm the type of person, if you're not consistent with being there, then don't be there at all.
Yep.
Don't be there at all. So I had to, like, even though my husband stepped in to be a father to her, it was just a journey that she had to go through to realize that my dad been there all along. He was right there. I always tell people, any man can father a child, but it takes a real man to be a daddy. And just because you give birth, don't make you a mother.
Amen. Amen.
Well, um, I have another little experience to share. I remember when I decided I was going to go back to school, so I went and got on welfare for a period of time. They were helping me out with like transportation and other things. And I got on welfare and they wanted to put him on child support. I get a phone call from, I guess, the lady downtown at the office, and she says to me, um, I'm just calling you to let you know to be careful because he's made a threat and said if you show up, he's gonna do this, that, and the third. So I said to the lady on the phone, I said, he told you that. He didn't tell me that. He I guess he told her if I come down there, he was gonna do this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, my thing is this: if you was doing what you were supposed to do, you wouldn't have to worry about anybody contacting you. So he did. He told them he didn't think that they were his children, so he wanted a blood test. So I said, listen, give him the blood test. If he asks for it, let him pay for it. He can get a blood test. I have no problem whatsoever. But in order for him not to pay child support, he didn't want to spend time with them, but he also didn't want to be responsible for them either. He just wanted to have the title of a father, which is sad.
Okay, so I have a question for the panel. And the question is it fair that we have to beg the system for money these men sure want to give when it comes to their child?
Oh, you don't beg the system for anything. I don't care if you need it. You do not ever beg the system for anything. I'm sorry. I'm grateful to have a strong support system. And I'm not saying support system as in like always financially. No, just all around a great support system. Because again, as many times as the system continuously called me about child support, he still never paid, so I still never received anything. So I'm not begging. If I listen, I'm not begging nobody. Not no man, not no system. Because at the end of the day, I have faith that God is going to make a way out of no way when it comes to my child and I. And we've been good. We've been more than good. Probably a little bit too good sometimes, okay? That's my answer.
Okay, now here's a personal question that I have for y'all, right? So my question is it fair that some, I'm not going to say men because they're not men, is it fair that some boys can dodge responsibility and basically live their life like they're free as if they don't have any child or any responsibility, while we on the other hand, meaning not only just us as women as supporting the child, doing everything for the kid, but the fathers, single fathers as well. Is it fair for little girls and little boys basically to dodge responsibility, living life like they're free, young, wild, and free, with no care in the world, as if they don't have no responsibilities while we're doing everything?
Yes, absolutely. And let me explain. I am a so I look at things a little bit deeper, you know, and sometimes, some people ask me, why do you think that way? And my response is always, why do you not? Okay? You have this single dad, right? You have this single dad who does everything. I am a firm believer that that a single dad, right? A single dad does everything for his children or his child, and he has a baby mom who doesn't like to work, like she just like to go out, have fun, party, live her best life. Why would that single dad want that around his child? Why would he want to teach his child, especially if he has a baby girl? Why would he want to raise his daughter with a mother who is not really a good mother figure? Like, she's not a role model. You don't, what I'm saying is, babies, especially like young toddlers, babies, infants, they literally are like sponges, as Mama Faith will say. They take in so much, but what people forget is they take in spiritually as well, energy. Like, they take in all of that, all of that. So why would you want anything negative, anything that's draining, anything that's not motivated, anything that's not teachable or can't teach, don't know how to teach? Like, why would you want that around your child? I feel as though everything happens for a reason, whether it's a man being a single dad or a woman being a single mom. We the single parent, we are so strong and we are so content into being a parent where God have no reason but to bless us what we think we're missing out of the parents that lack. And what am I saying? Mommy Faith was a single mom of 3 as well, right? And she was so strong. She was like powerful, motivated. She working in school, up all night, studying, like still had time for family and friends. I don't know how. Always had time for her children. I don't know how. Like, growing up, I thought we had like 72 hours in a day, the way Mama Faith used to remove her. Okay? But what she thought she was missing, she wasn't really missing. She just was waiting on God to send that missing piece. She wasn't missing it, but God sent a missing piece. Like, I don't know if I'm making sense right now. I don't know if I'm making sense right now, but I know somewhere in that Bible it says that the child is to honor thy mother and father. But if you flip through them pages with your pointy finger somewhere, it also says that the parent is supposed to do right by their child as well. Be there for that child as well. Holier than thou. Y'all know where I'm getting at. It says it in the Bible somewhere. So if a parent is not doing that for that child, you think they're gonna get blessings and you want that around your child as a single parent? No. I don't care if you're a single dad or a single mom. We all in the boat together. And regardless of the matter, we're gonna get that happy ending at the end. And it's not gonna be from that lacking. No. You don't want that around your child. That's my answer. I don't know if I make sense, but that's my answer.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. So you're basically saying that it is fair for them to basically live the way they live in young, wild, and free, as if they don't have responsibilities while we do everything.
I really don't like the word fear because it's like, oh, they get to do this, but I can't either. I don't want to do that. So I'm not saying that it is fear, but what I'm saying is, if that's the life that they choose, if that's the route that they choose, to not be a parent, knowing that, to live a carefree life and wake up every day and brush those nasty teeth, knowing that they don't smile in their children's face, then let them live that life. Let them live that life. What is your child missing? What is your child missing? Absolutely nothing. The single dads, they children not missing anything. The single moms, they children not missing anything. Let them live carefree. You know why? Because that single mom who raised a pro football player, a ballerina, and that single dad who raised a pro basketball player who play overseas, and the prettiest model in the world on every last billboard in the United States of America. Now these parents Maddie's parents want to come around. These missing parents want to come around. No. Why? We did the hard work. So I wouldn't say that it's fair, because that's basically like, well, they get to do this and I can't. It don't matter. You chose to be the custodial parent. People fail to realize, people always say, single mom, single dad. Oh, the dad don't want to be there. Oh, the mom don't want to be there. But sometimes a single mother don't want to be there either. Sometimes that single mother might just pass her kids off to somebody else because she just don't want to do it. And then what? What is grandma gonna say? Oh, it ain't fair that I'm 63 years old, home with little John and little Pino, while the mom out doing this and that. Grandma ain't worried about that, cause grandma already know the game. Grandma gonna do what she need to do for them kids. That's her main focus. That's where I'm getting at. You should not be focused on what the absentee parents are doing. Because I'm not focused on me. Speaking for me, I don't give a hoot nor a nanny. I wake up every single morning so happy when my baby blow his stink breath in my face. And I go to bed every single night happy, knowing that my baby tell me he love me every night. And I say it right back to him. I'm not missing out on nothing. Anybody who is doing something that they supposed to do for their children, they're not going to focus on who's not doing for their children, because they're so focused on, what am I going to do next for my child? Where are we going on vacation next? We're not focused on what the absentees aren't doing, because that doesn't matter, because they not doing anything. So why you focus on, oh, well, they out living a carefree life? I don't care. They still in the same town you left out of. Hello, why you worry about them for?
Let me give y'all the hard pill that I had to swallow. Pretty much, we made these beds. We didn't follow. Well, I'm not saying with all of us, but for those who didn't follow what God laid out for us, this is the result of the desires of our own hearts. This is the result. We did not wait until we were married to who God had for us and create the family that he designed. We didn't do that. What they told Tiana, to my girls in school, you get what you get and you don't get upset. They're living their life however they want to live, because they were only a component in creating the children that we have. And we were the vessel to bring them forth. That's it. They were a necessary contributor. You can't expect something from someone that they never showed you they had in them. That's like expecting a pig to hop like a bunny or a cat to bark. That's not in their makeup. We just needed their assistance to bring forth these humans that God needs in this world to do his work. So if we stop expecting from them what they're not capable of giving, it'd be easier to handle and deal with. It's our job. We chose them, and God chose us to bring these babies forth. That's it.
And I 100% agree, because I don't care for anything that does not care for my child the way I care for my child. And that's just that on there. I don't care what you're doing. Oh, is it fear? I don't care. Don't look at it like that. Because life is not fair, for one. But I don't know.
Yeah, see, when I first had just the oldest two, I did used to view it like that, because it's more so of with my son father, I didn't care what he was doing, because at the end of the day, I already knew like where that was going to be, so I didn't care what he was doing. But with my oldest father, that kind of did like hurt me a little bit, because it's like when we was living with you and everything, you was an active parent, and you went from being an active parent while we was together to you was an active parent there physically, but not financially. Because I do remember a time too, I had to call my parents for a can of milk for the baby and everything like that, but it was more so, well, if you was an active parent physically and you turned around and just stopped being an active parent because I ended up calling quits and basically try to move on with my life. So I did used to look at it like that, like, oh, it's not fair how you're literally is 2 feet away from me, around the corner, outside with the gorillas, sitting there chilling, drinking, wherever the case is, while I'm over here taking care of both of our responsibilities, picking up your slack when you was dead around the corner and wouldn't even call to say, hey, can I see her? Hey, can I come take her to the park? Hey, can we do this? Hey, can we do that? So I did used to look at it like that. But now that I'm all the way down here, it's like, what's the point in trying? And that's another thing that be getting to me, because now it's like I'm all the way down here. I'm taking care of my responsibilities, doing everything I'm supposed to be doing as a mother. But I had times where y'all want to keep coming to me, bothering me, trying to get me to take you off child support, although you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing regarding these babies, these beautiful headache of a blessings that I decided to have. So I was like, it's frustrating.
It's frustrating because you allow it to frustrate you. You allow it to frustrate you. When they reach out to you and you can already sense the vibe, the tension, the aggression, why do you feed into it? Because that's showing that you care. You care. My baby daddy can't get me to argue with him. You say one thing wrong, I promise you, the conversation is over. Just talk to yourself. I'm going to say what I have to say. I'm going to let you talk. Once you get out of character and want to be disrespectful, talk to yourself. It got so bad to the point I just changed my number. Why? Because I have to make sure that I am okay as a mother. My peace, everything. Because when I'm off, I'm going to be off when it comes to my child. I can't allow any man to knock me off my pivot. I'm sorry. You will not frustrate me. You will not anger me. And I'm already, walking hand in hand with God trying to get my anger issues under control. And it's real hard, especially when I'm hours away. It's hard. But he can never get me to argue with him. Stop responding. If it's not about the children, why are you giving a response to it? Why are you giving a response to it? If they reach out to you at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, right? Don't respond. Why? The kids are asleep. Why are you texting me that late? I didn't play those games. You text me that late, you're going to get a response the next day. Maybe. That's just maybe. You got to set boundaries. If they know that they could continuously trigger you and piss you off, they're going to keep doing it. It's fun to men. Because now it's like, it's easy to paint you out to be this bitter baby mama because look, I just made you so angry and now you calling me out my name, you disrespecting me. On his end, he probably deleting messages and just got you out here looking crazy. Because he done pissed you off. It took him 2 seconds to piss you off. Now you sending these paragraphs back to back to back to back. And now he deleting everything on his end to make you look like the bitter baby mama. Stop responding. A person can't talk to someone who's not talking to them. And everything does not require a response. I don't care if he asks you about child support. Go talk to your lawyer or whatever. That's up to you. If you want to get put off child support, do what you want to do. Do what you need to do as a man, as a father. And I'm not just talking about financially. I'm talking about physically as well. And stop. I'm tired of these men, some of these men, but I'm tired of these men using their mothers to be a father. I don't want to talk to your mamas neither. I'm sorry. I didn't make the baby with your mother. I didn't make the baby with your father. I made the baby with you. And I'm not saying that in a mean way. I promise.
Well, rules. I have a son who has 3 children. And my son decided to relocate to a different state. So because he relocated to that different state with that other child, I felt the need to step in as grandma to help the 2 that were up here. The reason why I chose to help the 2 that was up here is because of his absence. The other baby mother don't understand that. Like, y'all a family, y'all don't need my help. Y'all have 2 people in the household. these are single parents here. They're single moms. So yes, I'm going to bend over backwards for my daughter.
Well, that's
Okay.
different. Sis. That,
Yeah, I didn't think of it like that.
that's a little different. Sis. We talking about the ones that's right here, same state, almost same city, not that far away,
Right.
and you feel the need to compensate for where he lack. That's partially why they can't get it together. Y'all, they not y'all, but some of them women still breastfeeding their sons.
Whew, glad I just stopped last year.
You know what?
Here's the thing. You have some baby mamas that's like what you do call bitter. Once the man move on, they try to use the child as a pawn. So I remember there was a time when my son didn't have the finances, and they one tried to make him feel as though he could not see his child. So I said to my son, if you don't have the money, anyone knows that if you don't have it, that's one thing, because if you have it, they have it. However, never let anyone stop you from spending time with that child. That child is not going to remember that you didn't have money to buy him the latest Jordans or her the latest Jordans. But that child will remember, oh, I remember daddy used to push me on the swing at the park. I remember daddy used to spin me around in a merry-go-round. Make those memories, because that's what they're going to remember. They're not going to remember that you didn't have enough money to purchase them something. Make the memories.
Child, you are 100% right. I remember watching Total Recall with my father and him covering my eyes, or me and my brother's eyes, because of the woman with the three breasts. Like, I remember him taking us to New York. I remember him making videos with us, like we were disappearing with his little camcorder. Like, I remember those things. What he bought me, don't remember. What he fed me, I really don't remember ever like going out and getting food or like McDonald's, like those things. I literally remember the jobs that he worked at, the places he took us to. That stuff really freaking matters. It really matters. I remember watching him teach my brother how to ride a two-wheel, a bike, and him jumping up in the air because my brother finally got it. Those things stick. The money dissipates. That stuff that you outgrow sneakers and clothes and have to give them away to somebody else. That's not a memory. So tangible, nothing you can take with you anywhere, not even in your brain. People need to really, really wake up. It's not about the dollar. I think social media got them all jacked up.
Auntie Mimi, I 100% agree with you. It is not about the dollar, but I just be feeling like until you do what you got to do, take care of your responsibilities, and install some stuff into your child that I won't be able to from a man perspective, it's going to be about that dollar.
No, hands
Is
down. No,
that
no, no, no,
bad?
no. No, no, it's not. Because I literally said that earlier. I can't make you spend time, which creates the memories that the kids will have forever, but I can make you pay. I got to get a third party involved to make you pay up. I'm not doing everything by myself. So where I can get assistance to get you to kick in, I'm gonna do it. Because if you thought like me, we wouldn't be sitting here. But I don't agree with treating the kids like they had an amusement park. Like, if you don't pay, you don't get access. That's not cool either.
It's not. And that's the crazy thing. When before Lonnie even came in the picture and I did the whole thing with getting help, because again, I came down here with absolutely no money, no nothing. So I had to do so. I was looking at it like, well, I came to you for help regarding the child. All of them. I came to all of them for help regarding the child because I came down here with no money whatsoever. No money, no job, no nothing besides myself and these kids. So I came to you and you guys all literally sat there and told me no. So because of that, I was like, all right, well now I'm going to do what I have to do, which is to put y'all on child support so that I can get the help that I need. That way I can be able to get the benefits of everything that I need so that my children can be okay with eating. My children can have a bed and everything to sleep on. And that's what was aggravating me more, because it's like I'm always going to my mom like, hey mom, can you buy this bed for Serenity, or can you buy this bed for Serenity and Hasmir, or this and that for Lonnie, or wherever the case is. And I shouldn't have to do that. And I feel as though I shouldn't have to keep going to them because that's not their child. I should feel as though I should come to you when I need these things, because we are the ones who created this child, not me and my parents. I didn't lay in the bed with my parents. I didn't lay in the bed with my sister. So I shouldn't have to keep going to them every time I fall short, or every time I don't have no income coming in to get the help that I need for the kids. And I even said to my last child's father, I said, if you do what you got to do regarding the child, I will not put you on child support. And what he do? I guess boy thought I was playing, and he was like, all right, well, I don't want nothing to do with her, whatever the case is. That's not my child. That's not your child, but you never went and took the DNA test. My thing is, if you feel as though, if you really hard down or really feel as though that's not your child, you would take the DNA test, right? No, he didn't take that. So the state was like, all right, well, he didn't take the DNA test. So therefore, we're going to assume that that's his child. Okay, cool. I told him, I said, if you do what you got to do, I won't put you up there. And I said, the ball is in your court. So whatever you decide is going to be on you. So I guess he thought I was a clown with a big red honking nose and took me as a joke. But now I'm like, now to him, it's like, it's not a joke. I'm being bitter. I'm being spiteful because he's on child support. When I warned you before even putting you up.
I don't know what their problem is when they're fully warned most of the time about it. I don't know. You're going to do it the easy way or you're going to do it the hard way. But either way, it's going to get done.
That is true. However, as women, we have to take accountability as well. What do I mean? Especially for the ones who had previous children before you. You got into a relationship, you thought he wasn't spending no time with the children before you. Oh, it's gonna be different because he's gonna be a better father to my children than he was to his other children. I'm not saying that you guys think that way, but a lot of females think that way. So my thing is, if he wasn't a good father to the children he had before you, and you decide to have children with him, you have to take your accountability. With having a child, you know he was a deadbeat before you got with him. So don't think that because it's you that he's not going to be a deadbeat.
But you want to know what's crazy? The crazy thing is with this last one, he always had them kids, except for when he came to stay the night by my house. So whenever he stays the night by my house, that's when he didn't have them. But now it's like,
Wait, while Justice got some dead air, I was bamboozled, sis. I was straight bamboozled. Because when I tell you, had them boys all the time, and it was just like, oh, wow, like you really have your kids. Like you really about... Child, it was all a delusion, a figment of my imagination.
I was bamboozled too.
the crazy thing is, I always saw this little boy with his children. So he was always with his children. Then it was like at nighttime he'll leave the children with his mom to either come stay the night with me or to go hang outside. And even still, like to this day, he always have the other two, but when it comes down to mine, he's, what is it called? I just had a brain fart. He doesn't claim her. He doesn't claim her. He don't call, check up on her, does absolutely nothing. So to the world, he has two children, when in reality, he has three. All right. So here's the perfect question that I have for the Christian panel, which is everyone up here. Have you ever had to choose between taking someone to court or just letting God handle it? What
Give it to
did
God.
you do?
I did both.
What do you mean by take it to the courts?
So I'm assuming it's more so of like, going through the process of putting him on child support, getting in front of a judge and everything, letting the judge know what he does and don't do as far as the child, or do you just like give it to God? So like, for example, Faith, what Faith did, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna assume she gave it to God for the
Ain't
simple
no
fact that
assumption. She ain't put none of her baby daddies. Well, let me be clear. Faith only have 2 baby daddies. Okay, 2. And then none of them was on no child support because she a real woman and she could do that. Nah, I'm just
I'm
saying.
about to say I'm a
right.
real woman, but you gonna
So
pay up.
right. So that's what I mean by taking
Right.
it to court or just letting God handle it.
All right, so I feel like I'm in the middle because I ain't never stepped foot in no court, no judge, no that thing. I let my caseworker do all that. I was just sitting to the side, cute. The only thing I had to do was go take a picture and do my what's that called? My paternity. Was it?
I think
Is it paternity or
did both.
maternity?
Paternity,
Oh, I.
because it's for the papa. But I
Her.
think
So
I
even
did
if we
both.
take it, it's not. Even if we have to take it too, it's not maternity.
It's paternity. Paternity test. It's always paternity.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Because you're determining who the daddy is. I mean,
I mean,
even the mother too.
I'm
It's a
going on
paternity
mute.
test. Either way you put it. But I think I did both. I think I did both. Like, all right, so yeah, so their father was very steady and working, so the money always came how it was supposed to come. And this was a part of our divorce. Actually, the divorce reinstated the order that was there prior that I had terminated. Okay. So got the divorce, the judge reinstated it. Okay, whatever. So when it was steady coming every week, how it was supposed to come. It was fine. But now that it slowed up and it don't come like it used to, I gave it to God because I need him. I needed him before, but I know he gonna make a way now because now we
Mhm.
have to, we gotta figure everything out on our own because their father doesn't contribute anymore. So yeah, I did both. I took it to court. Always, God was always in it. I'm not gonna say that he wasn't, but now it's just I don't know. God got to make a way for us to do it all because his money did help like it was supposed to. I ain't doing this by myself. I ain't making by myself.
You okay over there, Faith?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm back.
We we heard you laughing from the other room, boo.
Yeah, I gave it to God. I didn't have much child support. I will say though, my son's father family was very active in his life. His grandmother, his aunt, they all were like very active. So he spent a lot of time with them. The sperm donor from a girl did nothing. Their family did nothing. Yeah, so I just felt. And the crazy thing is, when my daughter did reconnect, he was so worried about what I said to her that he thought that I kicked his toe back in. I'm not making it easy for you. See, what you thought was I was going to kick your back in for you to come in and have to defend yourself. That's too easy. I'm not doing that. So that's why I kept saying he's going through something because now you have to explain everything from the beginning to the end.
You ain't never lying. Till this day, he's still going through something. We try to figure out what that something is.
Ooh,
No, 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 we, no, not me.
my
No,
lord. What you say?
no, ma'am.
I'm just playing.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Listen, when it came down to that man, I was just like, all right, you don't want to be my dad? My little homie then. And that's how we talk. We talk. We don't. I'm cool. I'm content with it. I like it. Either way. It's, call me the right name and say happy birthday on the right day with the right age. We cool.
Oh
Ain't no
Lord.
problem. We
Oh,
cool.
Lord. What you
I
say?
love this for you.
My Lord.
All right, so we have a question on the panel. And one of our viewers asked, do you feel guilty or judged for putting your child's father on child support?
None. None.
Guilty? No. Judged? I don't care.
Right.
Not at all.
We do what we're supposed to be doing.
Question is, do he feel guilty?
Hello. Do he feel judged?
They don't feel guilty of
They
just
should be
not
asking
doing their
his
part.
panel.
So My next question for you guys is, should child support be based solely on income, or should parenting time and involvement matter too?
I believe parenting involvement should matter. What do I mean? I feel as though if the absent parent is paying child support, that and the children go with the absent parent during the summertime, the custodial parent shouldn't receive child support. It should stay with the non-custodial parent.
I completely agree. However, if my child go with that absent parent, I need someone there with him supervising the whole summer. I will just keep an eye. Okay, that's all I ask.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just trying to
I
see,
just
like, well, we done had our son for a whole year, and the child support never stopped. Kept going to another state, but whatever. I don't think the law doesn't agree with that. They won't stop it. I don't actually know about New Jersey stopping it for the summer. No, I do know because they told my husband no, that they would not do that. Stop it for the summer, even though they were here every single summer. He still had to pay.
Then in that case, then the non-custodial parent needs to pay child support for the summer.
Yep, but unfortunately, that ain't how it goes, which is actually really really wild. But when they I will say this about how they calculate whatever for the they don't take other children into consideration, at least not in my case. um and I don't agree with anybody being left destitute. I don't agree with suspension of license because they're in arrears by a certain amount, because how the heck are they supposed to go to work?
Mm-hmm.
And then that brings about other charges and things like that. Now I do feel like they need to be consistent with warrants. If they're gonna put a warrant out for one, they need to put a warrant out for all. No say. But but yeah, I just don't think that they should be left destitute and not be able to, fend for themselves. But these are things that they got to think about.
I feel like they
Okay,
do.
so quick question. If I understand Faye said that since you guys had in the summer, the custodial parents should pay for child support in the summer. Is that possible?
I mean, in the state of New Jersey, if you go through the court system, no. But I'm just saying morally.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had, okay, I'm gonna use my husband. If my husband was my children's father and we were co-parenting, because of the type of father that he is, even though I was receiving the child support and he has his child during the summer, I would send the money back to him for the summer. Because at the end of the day, it's like now to me that's double dipping. I'm paying you child support, but I still got the child here and I still got to feed and clothe the child and everything. What clothes you buying if they not with you? I also feel if you need child support to keep a roof over your head, then you need to second guess what you're doing.
Faith, you just reminded me of something.
Amen.
You just gave me a flashback. When I took that man off, I didn't take him off. I gave him the card, so his money will go on that card, and I gave it to him because he was supposed to be kicking in physically. You just made me think about that when you said you would send the money back.
Yeah, like I mean that's just me.
That was my way of taking him off. Here's the card. That's your money on it. Do what you want to do.
When I took myself out, because remember I was on welfare, so that's how I didn't physically go down there and put child support on my son's father. I didn't do that. He had owed a lot in arrears, and I remember they asked me, "Do I still want the arrears?" I told them, "No, I'm dropping the child support case. I don't want anything or whatever." They asked me, "Was I being threatened?" I'm like, "Huh?" They was like, "We need to make sure you're not being threatened to remove him off child support." And I'm like, "No, like he spends time, his family. He's my son's always with his family, everything. So yeah, let's go ahead and remove this thing."
Yeah, at one point in time, I had also like dropped the arrears because it wasn't necessary or whatever. And again, we had an understanding, we had an agreement that You would do this, you would do that, you would help here, you would help there. Yeah, me to death. Yeah, me to death. I even allowed, Lord, I'm glad I ain't say no names. I even allowed him to claim one of my children 1 year so he could get a car. Yep. I did all of that, but I'm beat, I'm bitter.
I remember that.
I'm paying my mortgage. He paying my mortgage, he paying my rent. Yeah.
Your car note.
My car note, everything. He paying
Mhm.
for all that we got. Child. Mm. But I gave chance at the chance. Got that car, pulled up like, oh, we twinsies because we got the same color car. No, we ain't twinning. We ain't twinning. So yeah, I did all of that. And still, so I said, third time's a charm. I'm never doing it again. I'm never taking you off. But, give people chances and give them enough rope and let them hang themselves.
Amen to
Sorry, guys. All right, so my next question is, do you think some fathers go out of their way to avoid paying child support, even if they can afford it?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
Do you think some fathers go out of their way to avoid paying child support, even if they can afford it?
Absolutely. I know someone who worked under other people's social security number so they didn't have to pay.
Well, I'll be doggone.
I agree.
I'll be doggone. They must have nice income tax.
Mm-hmm.
Working under my social.
How do you have a nice income tax? You can't file income tax because it's not your social.
You're not using my name. Yeah, I know. The person whose social you using. I'm claiming all of that. I work 3 jobs. My gosh. They go to those extremes. My goodness.
Yep. Or work under the table.
That's so ghetto.
Mm-hmm.
No benefits. No, come on. Y'all too old for that. Stop it.
They don't be caring as long as they ain't got to pay that child anything to avoid being responsible and accountable for their children.
And then what happens when they become successful and you had nothing to do with it?
Be like my sperm donor. He at the Apollo. My son singing at the Apollo. He standing up. That's my son. That's my son. Right. Where were you at when he needed you?
Oh, you different from me. I wish he would.
His son invited him. Brian got a good heart, so
I
I
don't
couldn't tell
care
him.
about you inviting. I want you to be there so you can see how successful my child is. But what you're not going to do
Mm-hmm.
is get up talking about that's my child. That's what we not going to do.
Right. Today? What about yesterday? What about last year? What
I
about
had
when
to,
he was 10?
girl, I had to pray hard because I wanted to kick him in the back of his head.
No, I ain't going to kick you.
I wanted to kick him.
I'm going to say, says the deadbeat. Where were the Pampers? Where was the milk? Where was the
Don't know.
food? Says the deadbeat. Now
Mm.
because they blowing up, you want to be seen. No, stay in the background where you been, deadbeat.
See? That's before what social media. I'm telling you, social media is like that. Just like
Mm-hmm.
that. You could post, oh, my this, my that. You wasn't there for nothing. Those are pictures that somebody done text you. You wasn't even there for the event.
Say that
And yet
again, please.
you oh Jesus. Oh Jesus.
She don't know what she
You,
said, Rose.
you ain't got I sure don't. You don't have no pictures of your own. You
Mm,
taking somebody text you and posting them like you was there for the event or the
mm.
occasion, making it seem like you're that parent. You're not a parent.
Don't
Transparent
even know
bullshit.
what took place.
You're not a parent.
Don't even know the context of the photo.
Mm-mm.
I remember. I don't like the new Facebook because you don't even got to be friends with people, but because y'all got associated or same people that's friends or associated, now you're seeing their posts. I don't know. Maybe it was the devil that made me see this post. But I remember one particular Father's Day, the sperm donor got remarried. And his wife decides that she wants to post a picture of world's greatest father, greatest husband, and then she posts all the children. She had her children that they don't have together, so he's in a relationship with her who has her own children. At that time, they didn't have any together. I'm not sure if they have any together now, but at that time, they did not. She posted all his children, which 2 of mine were his. I said, mind you, my children at the time was probably like 14, 15. The picture she posted is like 8 or 9. Doesn't even matter. I inboxed him and said, you got 2.5 seconds to have your wife to remove my children from that post. You are not a father to them, have never been a father to them. And we're not going to sit here and go all on social media like you this world's greatest father. You don't do anything for them. You don't pay anything for them. I don't ask you. I don't bother you. So this is bothering me. You got 2.5. And she took it out.
Ouch. That hurt. Ouch.
That don't hurt. That's not their father.
Right.
Their father is my husband. My husband was the one that did everything. When my daughter graduated kindergarten, it was my husband that was there. 8th grade, my husband. 12th grade, my husband.
Ooh, say that.
With his grandchildren now, my husband.
Hey, don't forget in between, because it was softball. Y'all put us in charm school.
My husband is their father.
Yes,
Class
he is.
that.
Now that's what you call a man that comes in and be a father. A married man is gonna be a father to all children. Period.
That's why I don't like to say stepfather. I always say
Oh
bonus.
no, that's their father. It ain't even their bonus. That's their father.
That's
That's their daddy. Okay?
Exactly. Exactly.
And I tell you one thing, I let that man slide when it came to diplomas. Okay? My biological father last name is on them diplomas. He ain't even deserved that. But we ain't gonna get into that. But when it comes to this degree, I bet you my last breath that man's name will not be there. It's gonna be Miss Austin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
Well,
If
you ain't playing either.
Well, he won't know anyway because he don't even remember the birthday.
Sorry, clock that T, man. Clock that T.
It's all right.
What?
Nate said he ain't gonna know because he don't even remember birthdays. She said, so sorry. I said, sorry, not sorry. Clock that T, man. Clock that T. Because Rose's favorite color is purple.
Oh, good Lord.
Wait, ain't that your
Right.
favorite color?
Yes, ma'am.
The devil.
Everything about my mom is mine. And then, like, how does it feel to have a child and pick up your nasty Android and dial your child's number and put it up to your clogged ear and say, "Hey, baby girl, how's your mother and your father doing?" Like, what type of
Why you
man
so
are you,
confused?
bro? I don't get it. I don't get it. My mom and dad are amazing.
Yo. Who we asking the wrong questions? He on the phone with you.
And clock ears for me.
What kind of Android he got?
A nasty one.
You gonna make her repeat it.
A nasty one.
Jesus.
At this point, I don't even think it was an Android because he can't afford it. It was a burner.
What you say?
And you know what? Don't get me wrong, right? I love that dude now. But that's because God told me to. You know, they said you're supposed to love people the way that God loves us. So I really do love Little Nuggethead, right? He give me Little Bill vibes, like the grandfather from Little Bill. Like, I really do love him. Don't get me wrong. But it's like, I don't know. I just can't see myself. And it's so crazy because fathers think, and I'm speaking from, personal experience. Deadbeat fathers feel like, they have the quote unquote easy way out because they're not physically there. But it's like, it's not an easy way out because I don't know you. You don't know me. We can't have a daughter-father relationship. So it's just like, you my little bruh. And you
Mm,
can't be mad about that because that's all clearly you wanted was, yeah, my daughter called me her little bruh, so I'm just little bruh. She the big homie. Yeah,
mm-mm.
biggest. The biggest. And it's your fault. And it's okay. I kid you not. It is okay. I've been living his karma when it came to women, but it is okay because I have a good God on my side, and I'm going to end out on top at the end. So it don't matter. And when you see me getting married, cause he's invited. Oh, you gonna see that man walk me down the aisle? You invited, okay? But when you
Mm.
see you and you sitting in the audience with everybody else, and my dad walked me down the aisle, I promise you, if you don't shake his hand when he walked back down the aisle, you getting thrown out.
Oh Lord, what's
Cause
that?
you should be thanking him every single
No.
day of your life. You should be thanking that man.
Ooh.
Thanking him for doing what you didn't.
Hello.
Mhm.
This is going to be the most strictest wedding I've ever been invited to.
There you
I
go.
can't wait to see it.
Shake that man hand.
First of all, this man, speaking of my biological father, y'all know he not coming to the wedding. Of course, I'm gonna invite him because you are gonna see my dad walk me down the aisle. But everybody know he not gonna come. I invited him to my kindergarten graduation. Kai, edit that out. I invited him
28,
to my
22.
kindergarten to my kindergarten graduation, then come. I invited him to my 8th grade graduation, then come. I invited him to my high school graduation, then come. So it's like I keep saying, and that's the crazy thing. Like I'm trying. I feel like as a child should never have to beg the absentee parent to be a freaking parent. I begged this man. That's when I beg. I wasn't begging my baby daddy, but I begged my biological father.
See, that's why they gotta pay. That's ridiculous. Pay so that the child doesn't miss out on anything. So they don't have time to think about how you're not there. If you keep a child busy enough, they probably can't really focus on too much. So I need to put you in all types of sports for all seasons, and I need your money to be able to help do that since you're not here to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need no idle time for the child to just be sitting and thinking about what you ain't doing or why you're not around. Nah, that's why your money is necessary. Pay up. Pay up, Debbie. Pay up.
I remember when she came to me and she said to me, how can he not be a father to his biological children, but is a father to his stepchildren? So I'm like, well, I'm on the outside looking in. That's the question only he can answer. However, I'm gonna go for the juggler. Maybe God give him a redo. He messed up with his 4, so maybe God give him a redo. But that's indeed a question for him.
Justice.
Have you had to forgive someone who failed your children financially or emotionally? If so, how did you do that?
God.
Exactly.
Oh God. And I know that I don't know. It must be some kind of progress because in May I was in this man's presence and I didn't get that feeling like I wanted to punch him in his face this time. But we also don't speak, which is how it has to be because of how and who he is. I refuse to have a conversation with him because he is very disrespectful and I will not be disrespected. So I don't communicate with him. So I don't know if I'm still unsure of that forgiveness. Like I believe that I forgave or forgive him for constantly being who he is, but I don't know for sure because I think it'll be tested if he could be himself around me and it not affect me, if that makes sense. Like I can tolerate, or I know how I'll be better able to handle his ignorance better than I have ever before. And maybe that's how I know, like that forgiveness has set in, because it's just like accepting somebody for who they are and not allowing it to negatively affect you. So I think it's still up in the air for me, because I really don't know.
Well, for me, I remember a time where I saw I forgave. I remember he in a different state, so it's out of sight, out of mind. Then he decided that he wanted to come to Jersey. So he came to Jersey, and I remember we were at the bingo hall because my husband was selling dinners and everything out of the bingo hall. And I was playing bingo. And he was like, "Oh, I want my daughters to meet my fiance." And I'm like, "Well, could they meet you first? They don't know you. How about you build a relationship with them first, and then you bring whoever you decide to be with in the mix." And I remember him calling me by my maiden name, and I lost it because I felt as though now you're trying to disrespect my husband. And anybody that know me, know I do not play about that man. So I felt as though by you calling me my maiden name, because you could have just called me by my first name, but you called me by my maiden name, so you made me feel as though you were trying to disrespect my husband. So I spazzed out. I spazzed out so that I lost that. I lost that test. I failed that test miserably. Failed that test. Like the whole bingo hall just stopped, and everybody was just looking at me. You know, once faith gets started, whoo, it's over. So I had to let him know, don't disrespect my husband. However, I remember we was doing something in spiritual sisters where we had to write everyone down that we needed to forget. And I wrote the people names that I needed to forget. And then I remember God specifically told me two other names. And he was like, "You have to let it go." And he was one. So before, when I used to hear his voice, I used to cringe because the sound of his voice used to irk me. But now, like when Rose or Justice is talking to him, it's like it don't bother me anymore. So because the sound of his voice don't bother anymore, that tell me that I really forgave him. However, if he was on fire, I wouldn't pee to put him out.
Okay, so for me, I feel like with the oldest two, I did forgive. I'm basically letting it play out and be what it is, what it ain't. I'm not gonna force it. As far as that last one, I'm on the verge of forgiving, but there be times where this last one likes to test my gangster. And I'm gonna say I sort of kind of still have that childish mindset and do like to entertain it just for fun. So, like for example, the last time I had an interaction with this last one was around the baby's birthday, and I'm just like, you're like, to myself, I'm basically saying like, you basically hitting me up regarding child support, but you never hit me up to say happy birthday when you hit me up on her birthday, right? So what I did was I copied and pasted messages into chat. He thought he was arguing with me, but he was really arguing with chat. But it was entertaining just for a little bit. But then I stopped and say, at this point, I need to stop and grow up because this is childish. So I'm learning to forgive this last one. But the other two, I could absolutely say I forgave them. It is what it is. I'm not gonna force you to do like take care of your responsibilities or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, all of them they straight.
As for me, I want to say like I forgave him wholeheartedly, and I feel like I forgave him because not just for me, but for like some peace of mind. Like, and when I forgave him for being like, you know, an absent father, it was more so, all right, I'm going to back it up a little bit. When I became a mom, my first thing was, so when I first became a mom, the first thing that just dawned on me was
get your act together. I did not want to be portrayed as like, I'm ghetto or just like anything other than being mature. Like that's what I wanted. I wanted to be mentally mature. I wanted to be emotionally mature. Like I just wanted to carry myself. Like I want to be able to go outside and someone look at me like, yeah, she's a mother. She's a mother. Like, and that might not even make sense because you don't really think of somebody like when you see somebody outside, you don't think of them like she's a mother. But all right. Like if I'm outside with my mother and me and my mother, people think my mother is like people think me and my mother are sisters, right? And that's because together, me and my mom, we're having fun, we're joking, we're laughing, like we're bugging. But like if we go outside and it's like a different type of setting, people gonna look and they're gonna be like, oh, she's a mother. Like they're gonna look at Faith like, yeah, she's a mother. Her daughter respects her so much. Like I just want people to look at me and respect me for who I am as a mother. So in order for me to get over the hurdle of my child father not being there for my son, I had to do a lot of deep diving into me. I had to change who I was. I had to change how I carry myself. I had to change my old ways, such as, drinking, really going outside, and, stuff like that, like party lifestyle. Like, I changed so much. I changed the way I carry myself. And I always carry myself with so much respect. So much. Not saying I never, like, not respected myself. But being a mom, it just pushed me to want to be a better person. And in order to be a good mom and a better person, I have to forgive who hurt both my son and I. And I did just that. And life been good. Life been great. I ain't had to worry about no arguing. I go to sleep good.
Well, I had to forgive him because holding on to what he did to me was killing me. I was more concerned about what he didn't do rather than what I needed to do. So it took a minute because I would say I forgive, but I held a grudge. I held a grudge. And I would say that if he was on fire, I wouldn't even spit on him. But I really had to ask God to help me to forgive. So now I can actually hold the conversation with him. I remember we couldn't even go into do the kids parties. I remember I had a party for I think Ryan and Chuck E. Cheese one year, and he brought some other female, and we ended up turning Chuck E. Cheese out. So I really had to just
In
ask
front of the
God.
kids.
Well, listen, where you do it at is where we do it at. That's how we do it. That's how it was then. That's how it was. You couldn't do nothing for my children, but you bringing some other children in? Yeah, no, we're not sorry. So yeah, we turned Chuck E. Cheese out. Sorry, not sorry.
Oh, good Lord. All right, guys. So it is time for our personal reflection. I'm pretty sure everyone wants to hear some testimonies. So the last question of today's topic is, do you believe God can restore what's been withheld or lost due to absent co-parents? Share your testimony. So, me personally, yes, I do believe that God can restore what's been withheld or lost due to absent co-parent because I basically witnessed it firsthand. Meaning, like my biological father was straight, just aired, like he was just there for no reason. And then my real biological father, who my kids have last names, he ended up coming into my life when I was around first grade, and he basically showed me what it's like to have a father figure in my life. And because I experienced that father and daughter relationship with him since I was in first grade, I also experienced my child having a father figure in their life through him. So yes, I do believe that God can send so yes, I do believe that God can restore what was it? Restore what's been withheld or lost due to the parent being absent and not being there.
I too want to say that I agree as well, because for a very long time, because I always wanted my biological father in my life, I always believed that, no man would ever love me, because if my own biological father don't love me or don't want me, how can I expect another man to love me or want me? Whether it's, in a father figure, in a relationship, I was just a little kid. Like, I beat this in my head for years as a little girl and never really realized what I was like, thinking about. And for a very long time as well, I was so blindsided that I indeed had someone that not only loved me and showed me that he loved me, but someone who chose me. And I was blindsided by him because it was just like, I'm not gonna say like it was nothing wrong with my dad, my real dad, my mom's husband, my dad. It was nothing wrong with him. Nothing at all. He was there for me for everything, good, bad, ups, downs, left, right. That man was there. He was there. But I was so focused on what was not there, I took advantage of what I had there. And then it was like, he's different because he chose me. He didn't have to, but he chose me. And I'm sorry, Faith, but he proposed to us first before he proposed to you.
No, ma'am, that is my husband.
That is
She's
too
so in
cute.
denial about that.
So cute. That is too cute. Well, since the mic is on, I guess I might as well say my part. Um, God indeed restores anything that we lose or we lack. So that's never a question. Oh, charge it to my head and my heart. What's the second half of the question?
The question is, do you believe God can restore what's been withheld or lost due to absent co-parents? Share your testimony.
Oh. Okay. Um, so I believe God restores everything we lose, everything we lack. And as far as an absentee parent, God has definitely provided resources, right? Um, and has strengthened me and poured into me so that I can pour into my children, so that the lack of their other parent doesn't negatively affect them. So God is always going to look out, and he's always going to provide. And that's pretty much my testimony. I did have an recently did have my youngest be negatively affected, or the enemy tried to cause her to be negatively affected by her father's absenteeism. But God is so good that he didn't let it go unnoticed. So I was able to address it, and my child broke in my arms and is currently getting counseling right now, just to make sure she is getting stronger mentally and emotionally. So we caught it very early, and God is good like that.
I can share a testimony of having both my sons who are 18 months apart, and I remember one incident where I had them both on my lap and they were both asleep. I had became so stressed out from not having effective co-parenting that I actually thought that I heard them crying. but in actuality, they were both asleep. So I said that to say that I dwelled more on the fact that I didn't have his help, not realizing I had already had a village because I did have my parents at the time, as well as I thank God for my younger brother who took up the slack for whatever, you know, the absentee part didn't do. My brother would try to step in and do, even though he had his own children. And he was my youngest brother. So I do thank God for that. And again, it was a bit of a rough road for a little while because I can never say that I can teach a boy how to be a man. But I do thank God that my brother didn't think it was any harm in taking a time up with my sons and doing what a father should have been doing. So, yeah, God definitely does restore. And I am grateful for that help that I received during that time.
So, just for the record, God can restore any and everything. Let me repeat that. God can restore any and everything. My testimony is pretty much the same as Rules and Justice. The only thing I want to add is I feel as though God restored us as a family when He blessed us with my husband. My husband was able to show my daughters how a man is supposed to love and treat a woman. They could not have gotten that out of their biological father. Their biological father took them while he was cheating on his fiance. So it's like they have seen both sides. My prayer has always been that they choose the one that they live with. Choose a man like your father. That's why I always tell them, get you a husband like mine. Get you a husband like mine. I feel as though because they were brought up in a house on how a man should love a woman, they were shown. They saw it firsthand. Any dude that they deal with that comes short of that, they shouldn't even be entertaining.
Okay, so I guess we could go around one by one for the last segment. Basically how you feel overall about the topic of child support. Is it fair? Is it fair or not? So, or any like scriptures or anything you guys want to say, personal reflections or anything like that. So I'm gonna say my few words is going to be, I do believe that child support is fair only because, again, if I'm not the type of person to sit here, just have a baby with someone and just put them on child support automatically or anything like that, especially if the father is taking care of their responsibilities. I'm not that type of person. However, if you are not taking care of your responsibilities, then I feel like child support is fair because you're not taking care of your responsibilities, and two, as Mimi will say, be there or pay.
I genuinely feel as though when it comes down to child support, again, I do not receive child support, not a payment. Uno mas, that's it. But if you are a single dad and for whatever reason the other parent is absent, if you feel as though you want to put her on child support, just because you want the help, she's not there physically, emotionally, intellectually, like she's not there at all, that is okay. And vice versa for a single mom. That does not make y'all less of a parent. And it does not look like y'all are, oh, just give me money, just give me money, just give me money. It's not like that. And again, just like Auntie Mimi said, if you don't want to be there physically, you're going to pay up some money. I agree with that wholeheartedly, 100%.
Well, the one thing I will say is I heard somebody say a black woman don't always do what she wants to do, but she'll always do what she got to do. But I'll say this: a good parent may not always do what they want to do. but they will always do what they have.
All right. So I will say this: child support is fair if the recipient is being fair. And what I mean by that is I feel though as though I was very fair. I need this, help out with that, which shouldn't even have to be a conversation. It should just be a given. But sometimes that's just not the way it is. So I gave multiple chances. I was being fair. But when I was being taken advantage of, um, and where I felt he was lacking, you're gonna have to kick in financially, because where you won't pick up the children and take them with you, I'll have to pay for after school program. I shouldn't have to carry that by myself. So like I said, child support is fair when the recipient is fair. It's unfair when a female or a male is just taking advantage of the fact that they have a child and they can get money from the other parent. It's unfair when they use that money for themselves and not to take care of the child. So at the end of the day, it depends on who's filing and it depends on who's slacking. That determines whether or not it's fair.
Fairness in child support often gets tangled up in adult emotion, but the foundation of child support isn't about what feels fair to either parent. It's about what's right for the child. Children didn't ask to be here. They didn't choose the circumstances of their parents' relationship, but they do deserve stability, provision, and care from both parents. From a biblical lens, 1 Timothy 5 and 8 reminds us anyone who does not provide for their relatives, and especially for their own household, has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. Provision isn't optional, it's a God given responsibility. In this light, child support is a way to ensure that both parents share in that responsibility, even if they are no longer together. Is it always perfectly fair? No. Some parents feel they're paying too much, while others feel they're not receiving enough to truly cover their child's needs. But fairness in God's kingdom isn't always about equal amounts, it's about the faithful stewardship. It's about ensuring that the child is cared for, even if one parent has to shoulder more for a season. Fairness also means remembering that child support isn't help, it's fulfilling your role as a parent. When viewed this way, it's not about one parent winning or losing, it's about children growing up knowing they are seen, provided for, and loved. Ultimately, child support is most fair when it keeps the child at the center, not the conflict between the parents. It's a chance to model responsibility, generosity, and grace, even when the system or circumstances aren't perfect. Systems aren't perfect, and feelings can get messy. But when we shift our focus from fairness to faithfulness, something changes. Supporting your child financially, emotionally, spiritually isn't just about an obligation, it's an act of stewardship. It's choosing to invest in a life God entrusted to you, trusting Him to honor your faithfulness even when others may not see it. Remember, children grow up watching. They remember who showed up, who provided, and who stayed faithful. And God, the ultimate judge, sees your heart and your sacrifice. So is child support fair? Maybe not always by human standards, but when you do it unto the Lord, it becomes less about fairness and more about doing what's right for your child, for your legacy, and for God's glory. Let me breathe a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for guiding us through this important and sometimes challenging conversation. We lift up every parent, child, and family touched by the realities of child support. Lord, give wisdom where there is confusion, fairness where there is conflict, and healing where there has been hurt. Remind us that the heart of this issue is the well being of the children, who are the precious in your sight. Help us to approach these matters with grace, integrity, and a desire for what's right in your eyes. Bring peace to strained relationships and provision to families who are in need. May love, not resentment, guide every decision. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
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 So that is it for tonight's podcast. Let me just say this to every mom that's out there doing both jobs. I see you. I am you. I pray that something shifts in your favor. Let's keep pushing, keep building, keep showing our kids what strength really looks like. If this podcast really reached and touched you, I ask that you share, like, comment. We would love to hear your feedback. Until next time, stay righteously unfiltered and completely unshaken. Stay bold. Love you guys. Bye, ladies.
Bye.
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 Bye.